What's up, y'all? My name is Eugene. Before the podcast starts, I want to let you know where you can find our podcast. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, so make sure to follow and subscribe to our channels, as well as give us a 5-star rating. You can also check us out on Twitter and TikTok at Spin the Rock to get updates about episodes and previews of our show. All of the links can be found in our descriptions. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the Spin the Rock podcast, a basketball podcast for fans with fans. I am your host, and with me today is
Eugene?
Tyler and Vaughn.
Continuing preseason as we get closer and closer to the regular season. It's going to be hyped. A lot of preseason games going on right now, Japan games and stuff like that. We won't really touch that in this episode just because most of us just watch highlights. I don't think any of us watched like a full game. So we'll get right into today's episode. We'll start off with the hot seat first, starting with Vaughn. Today's hot seat question is best shoe brand. So if a shoe brand made a team, which shoe brand would be the best? Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Reebok.
Leaning.
Anton, stop playing with me.
You threw a curveball at me, okay? Like, I got so many Nikes, I got some Adidas, Jordan brand, of course, but like, I'm toiling over this. I think the obvious answer is Nike, right? Like, that's the big one. Like the checks over stripes. Like, that's the easy part. But low key, I think some Adidas products are like more comfortable, like a better fit than like some of the Nike. Like the recent Nike drops for hooping, they've been a little on the weak side. And like there's like the Kobe contract expiration. So like that like there was a hiatus for Kobe's for a while. And then Kyrie, I think they're not renewing Kyrie's so honestly, I'm just gonna say Adidas. Like I like the Dames, the Donovan Mitchells. I got a pair of Donovan Mitchells. I've always wanted a pair of D Roses, but I can never find those in the wild. So high key, Adidas.
All right.
You got a point though with like the comfortability on those shoes. Like NMDs aren't hooping shoes, but bruh, they got some nice comfort cushion on there, bro, for real. And you were saying like just like the best product or like
you could say the best product, your favorite, what I ball out in.
Yeah.
I got 50 in this brand,
I'd probably say Nike. We're not just talking like shoes and all that, right? We're talking just like brand.
Yeah, you just go brand.
Yeah, I'd probably say Nike. That's what I use usually most of the time. But Adidas is tough though, like Vaughn said. But it's just mainly Nike, like shorts, socks, all that. I'm just usually Nike. I even got a Nike shirt on right now, so
showing brand loyalty.
Exactly, bro.
So I'm gonna stick to your question that you asked. You said if a team was to make, or if a shoe company was to make a team, who would have, the better team? Obviously, it would be Nike. Kobe, Bron, Kyrie, even Jordan when he first started. But you got how Vaughn said Adidas with D Rose and Donovan Mitchell, and then you got the New Balance with Kawhi and Zach and DeJounte Murray.
Puma kind of on the come up.
Puma, yep, with Melo and Kuz.
I think Boogie too, right? DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, I think so. So it's like
it's hard.
All of these shoe companies on the rise, but honestly, and Jordan, that's what I was forgetting. Zion, Melo, Russ,
Luka,
Chris Paul. Yeah, like I'm kind of excited to see which alternative company, I guess, is going to be like the kind of the next Nike. But Nike would obviously win right now. But who would I say comes second? I'm low-key going with New Balance. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. Yeah, I forgot about New Balance. I'm not gonna lie. And then you started naming them off, and I was like, "Yo, New Balance, look, he got some players on there."
Facts, bro. I saw the commercial that they dropped on like Twitter the other day. I was like half of the people I didn't even realize were signed to New Balance. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I'm taking all of any player that played before the 90s. I'm going Converse. Give me all of them.
So give me Magic, give me Larry, bro.
Give me Dr. J, bro.
Yeah, facts. Give me anyone who ever dorned the like I got from the 60s to the 80s at least.
They stomping mud holes on anybody.
All right, moving on. Our hot seat doesn't tie in with our main topic whatsoever. It's just a hot seat I wanted to do for a while, but we've had a lot of topics to talk about. So our big topic today is we're going to be creating a starting five for the upcoming season. The best in each position. Right now, our order is so we're starting with the center because we're going from the easiest positions to fill to the hardest position. I think we all agree that shooting guard and small forward were the hardest position to fill. So we're going to start off with center. And I don't know who wants to kick us off with center. I don't know if you think no one's going to agree with you, but who wants to kick us off with center?
I mean, I'm just going to go with a rather obvious answer. I'm going to go with the 2-time MVP Jokic for the center. Like, I don't know anyone who will disagree. Like, you could argue Joel Embiid, but I feel like I just have a strong feeling we all like are going to say Jokic. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I said Jokic. Wow.
I mean, but like I guess we could even talk about Joel Embiid, he's still doing stuff kind of that, we don't see regular centers do,
Mm-hmm.
It's just Jokic is doing a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's usually like healthy. Like Embiid, like obviously he has past the injuries, but Jokic usually don't have he's not injury prone. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah. But that's why I said
the only thing Jokic doesn't really have is hops.
That's really it.
He'd be waddling down the court.
Yeah, like I said, we started off with the easiest. I mean, Jokic was so obvious.
It's kind of hard to go against Jokic,
You can't go against a dude who just went back to back on MVPs. Like, I'm not, as much as I would love to argue it, I'm not.
Moving on, power forward. Who wants to kick us off with power forward?
I can go. I'm gonna say only because he's marked at the position, I'm considering him power forward. But I'm gonna say Giannis. And I feel like that's also kind of hard to disagree with, given he's won every NBA award, essentially, almost. And then on top of that, he's won a finals. So, and his bag is constantly improving while he's been in the league. So, everybody knows Giannis' story. So, I'm going to say Giannis.
Did anyone say anything different?
You'd be a damn fool to say anything different.
I'll say Giannis when you win 6th Man of the Year. That's the only thing you don't have.
That'll probably be in the back end of his career. Imagine.
Did you guys consider anyone else at all, or did you go straight to Giannis? Yeah,
Giannis is number one.
Yeah, I figured.
Is there a runner-up though?
Like when healthy, or
yeah, not like who could overtake Giannis, because that'd be hard. But at least the second place. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you could say
who
isn't LeBron considered a power forward?
I was gonna say
forward.
AD's considered is he a 4 or 5? AD's usually a 4.
AD has been marked at a 4 most of his career.
Okay.
But I think he plays center, supposedly. Yeah.
If you wanted to argue him when healthy, you could, but I'm gonna go with Giannis.
Right.
On God, like he went back to back on MVP and won a Defensive Player of the Year on that second year. I'm not arguing that. He did that before he touched 30. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think with Jokic and Embiid, at least you thought like about Embiid with the power forward position. I don't think any of us even hesitated to say Giannis.
Yeah,
It's a landslide.
He's eclipsing everybody.
All right. I guess moving on to small forward, which I feel like this is where we're gonna get some back and forth. Vaughn, you're the only one who hasn't kicked us off, so why don't you kick us off for small forward?
Well, small forward's LeBron. I got him at number 1 for small forward.
Okay. Did anyone agree?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I'll agree, but I'll say someone else.
Well, if you have
who?
some,
I got backups too, just in case. But.
no, we want a consensus.
My someone else would probably be Jason Tatum.
Oh,
Tatum.
I don't consider him a 2 guard. I don't consider him a 2. Only because of his height.
I personally said Kawhi Leonard. Only because I'm just a Kawhi Leonard bias as hell.
It's okay. You're not wrong, but he was also hurt.
Yeah, I know. I'm just biased. I knew no one was gonna agree with me. I was just like, I want to say Kawhi.
I'm not gonna disagree though completely.
Yeah, it was just like I was going back and forth myself with LeBron or KD, like, but
KD.
LeBron won me out. So yeah, I'm gonna go with LeBron. But I was debating who I should pick between the two.
So you're
going LeBron.
You're saying LeBron too? What about you?
Yeah, LeBron.
LeBron was my first as well.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying JT as a backup.
All right, so LeBron.
I got some hot takes, bro. Trust.
Yeah, we're flying. We're flying.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go to shooting guard now because we all said our second. Shooting guard. I guess I'll start off. I said Devin Booker.
Okay.
Oh.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I like it.
I think
Why,
Devin Booker, like, let's forget it. Recency bias aside, that man has been killing it. That man has been killing it for a long time. And you can't just throw out what happened last season as the only reason why he's all of a sudden ass. If we're doing that,
right.
LeBron would have been ass for years.
For sure.
But I don't know. I just think D-Book is like still killing it, and he's,
we're talking.
Mans is killing it. I just can't. I couldn't ignore him.
I'm biased, so I almost said Devin Booker, but I got an even hotter take.
No one agrees with me.
No.
Okay, okay, so D-Book is officially out then.
What was yours, Eugene?
Mine was Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my number 2. That's my number 2.
Why Donovan Mitchell?
I mean, so on the Jazz, he played point guard, but I think was still marked at shooting guard.
Yeah.
But on the Cavs, he's strictly going to play shooting guard. And, with the whole bubble thing, him and Jamal going crazy back to back, that's what really, for me at least, was like, yo, Donovan Mitchell's a scorer,
Mm-hmm.
You got facilitators, floor generals, you got shot blockers. Like, Donovan Mitchell is a professional bucket getter, bro. Like, after watching the bubble, that's what solidified that for me. So that's he might not have all the accolades and whatnot, but I think you can make a case arguably for best shooting guard in the league.
All right.
I put him at number 2 because this is where like the water gets muddied. It's like I put Luka as a shooting guard. I know people consider him a point guard, but like
did the same.
Thinking lineup wise, like they always have Luka at the 2 because you had last season Jalen Brunson playing the 1, and then this season they're probably going to play Dinwiddie at the 1 because they said they're going to have Christian Wood play 6-man. So I think it's gonna be a similar situation. Like it's like LeBron, how he's always got the ball in his hands and he's dishing the rock. He's dynamic scorer, but he's like a small forward. So I think it's similar with Luka as he plays the two. Plus, like matching up defensively. Like think of a team like the Phoenix Suns. If Luka was a point guard, it's not like he's guarding Chris Paul and Chris Paul's guarding Luka. So it's usually someone with more length, matchup wise. So that's why I got Luka as a shooting guard.
I was low key thinking about that too, for like a split second.
I'm not glad I didn't even think about that.
So are we counting Luka as the shooting guard here? Because he was mine. Because I feel
You also said Luka?
yeah, like no bullshit. I said him too.
All right, no, that's good. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's because we share the same brain, though. Like,
Yeah, we
like
So I have another shooting guard though, because I thought Tyler was gonna say him.
he's probably my
Jimmy
backup.
Butler.
Oh,
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jimmy Butler too.
I was thinking about it, but I thought they labeled him usually as a 3, but I'd be forgetting
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
he plays
I
the
thought
2
he
also.
was
That's
3
I
too.
would have put him up there. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought they labeled him as a 2. I don't
He
know.
probably
in his
or at
Bulls,
least while he was on the Bulls, I thought
Yeah.
they did.
on the
Yeah,
Heat, they
they-
definitely play him at the 3 because they got either Tyler Hero playing shooting guard or Gabe Vincent or Max
Right.
Strus or Duncan Robinson
Oladipo.
or Oladipo. Yeah, they got a lot of shooting
They
guards.
got hella. Yeah.
So it looks like Luka takes the cake, because he's the only one with more than one person. All right. And then now we have point guard. Who wants to kick us off on point guard?
This one's indeed
It's Steph.
tough.
It's
yeah,
Steph.
Yeah.
How you gonna argue
I
elsewise?
also said Steph. I also said Steph.
I have him right here, bro.
I didn't say Steph.
Oh,
who'd you
there's
say?
others, but
I
Kyrie?
said Kyrie.
hey, but ain't
It's
I see
full
where you're
bias though. Like I'm completely biased to Kyrie. Like again,
Yeah.
everybody knows his story, and personally, I feel like he would at least have 3 rings if he wasn't, doing his own little thing, and if he was vaccinated, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I think Kyrie best in the league though. Curry can have the records. I just think Kyrie just a little bit better.
That's wild.
His bag is deep though. He got a real deep bag for real.
Nah, really deep. Like really
I-
deep.
But
I know Kyrie, like they be saying, like Kyrie got best handles, but Steph isn't far behind. Like he's not just like goated
they're
3-point
they're
shooter.
right here. They're right here. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like playing wise, they're right here. It's hard, but my bias to Kyrie is like takes it. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, I had Kyrie at 2.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
didn't even
think
have
that's
Kyrie at 2. I had Luka at 2.
At point guard.
Yeah. Just
Makes
because,
yeah, he was my backup.
yes.
No, like I swear he was. Like I could die right now. He's my backup.
But yeah, Steph easily takes the cake. That's why I didn't even consider Kyrie, but you brought up a very, very good points.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got the Kyrie haters, and then you got the people who don't even think about Kyrie because he only played half a season last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
bro, I'm Kyrie all the way, bro.
like if
But I think the thing about Kyrie is like he's such a great scorer, but like his worst enemy is himself. Is like sometimes he starts getting ridiculous with the shot selection, like taking a deep 3 with
Right.
like 20 seconds left in the shot clock. Like that's like his weakness right there.
Where would y'all put Chris Paul?
like for
First-
I had
today,
him at 5.
You got him at 5?
Yeah, I had him at 5.
He was
I
my
wouldn't-
third.
yeah, I was about to say if he ain't top 3, he's definitely in the top 5. But I'll put him honestly top to be what he's like 37 years old. He's still playing like an all-star. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I think 5 is
Top
kind of
five
Five a little
crazy.
crazy. 5 a little
Well-
crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
5 is because what this season is going to look like. The Suns are going to be a mess. I'm just saying it now. Like there's going to be so much.
Okay, wait.
going
Talking
on.
just
What was 3 and 4 then?
3, you got
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, and 4, John Morant.
Oh,
That's a long pause.
I'm a Chris
What's
Paul
wrong?
lover. I'm a Chris Paul lover. So that just made me even more like E.
Right. Like I'll put Chris Paul at 3, and then Dame, and then Ja. Ja's just too young. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously he's an exceptional player, but he's just too young.
That pause is
I see what you mean. I think it's because Chris Paul's first season on the Suns is better than the most recent season. And I don't know if that trend is going to continue or not. So that's why I only got him at 5, whereas Ja was 27-point scorer and is probably going to get better. You know what I mean?
He's got more upside. What are you trying to say?
You're correct. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but his job isn't to score either. You know what I'm saying? He can score. He's capable of scoring, but on every team that he's ever been on, maybe except the Hornets, his job has been to pass.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, okay, like I think Chris Paul should be higher up on the tier, like all time, than Steve Nash, and they consider Steve Nash like a ceiling raiser for a team. I think he's a little overrated, where Chris Paul is like the premium version of that. Like if you have Chris Paul on your team, like instantly your team is probably going to go to the playoffs. Like even if they were garbage, they're going to the playoffs. I mean, we've seen it with the Thunder. But with Ja, it's just like part of it is like this flashy style of play. And just like he's like I don't know how to say it. Like the flashiness kind of like hides his upside as a player almost. Like they're not really looking at the things like his actual playmaking,
like his fundamentals.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see what you're saying, but still better than Chris Paul is crazy. I'm sorry.
That's why I stay silent the entire time.
Top five, I think, is completely fair. Of point guards, like there's how many point guards in the league? Like Chris Paul is like
at least
top
30.
5 in general, like names wise. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Maybe switch out Ja for Luka for me, just because I think Luka's a point guard. But I'm still not going to disagree with your list. You know what I'm saying? Since you consider Luka a shooting guard.
All right. Yeah, I stay quiet the entire time because I'm way too biased. So I wouldn't. So why don't, before we talk about our starting 5, why don't we go through back down and see if we skipped any names? And I'm just going to throw this player out here because a lot of people love this player. Trae Young didn't even get mentioned. Do you all think?
It's not even in my top 5.
Yeah, no, I'd probably put him. Bias, I'd probably put him top 10.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a solid player, but I don't think top 5 just yet.
All right. And I also have Bleacher Report top 5. And
top 5 best players, or like they did like at positions.
At positions.
Oh, okay.
Because right before we started, I got silent because I was like, let me see if anyone else did this, and I found Bleacher Report. And let me tell you, it's kind of wild.
I bet it is.
So, okay. Anyone else you want to mention at point guard that you feel like got skipped over?
I'm trying to think of teams. Hold up.
If you don't have to force one out if you think we touched everyone.
I mean, I'm sure there's a name that I forgot.
Oh, probably.
I brought up Dame, but he got kind of overshadowed by the Chris Paul thing.
Probably not even speaking from bias, just career wise, but Russ.
I think
what?
I think Russ' recent bias hurts him a lot.
Oh, it hurts him tremendously.
It hurts him way more than Devin Booker.
Dang. We didn't talk about James Harden.
We did not. Is he?
Yeah. What is he? Is he
shooting guard though?
He was my backup for 2.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. So okay, Russ and Dame. Let's talk about Russ and Dame because I feel like if we're having to think this hard, we shouldn't mention them.
Right.
So let's go to Dame first because I feel like Vaughn did mention Dame in the Chris Paul argument, but like the Ja Morant placement overshadowed Dame's placement. How do y'all feel about Dame as a point guard coming into the season?
I got like Damian Lillard jersey in my closet, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure he'll go back in the rhythm. He was out with a surgery.
Yeah,
the whole season.
The Blazers. I mean, like they were nothing without him, right?
Yeah,
Like he's that like valuable to them.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I feel like
I was saying, they might never win a chip, but they probably gonna make a statue for that boy or something. Like retire that jersey, something, man. Like something, bro.
They just
He's
give
that
him
valuable.
the whole thing.
They might give him Motor Center, bro.
well, yeah, I feel like Dame is so valuable, and he's also like clutch as hell. That man
Oh,
is
yeah.
like ice cold. So I had to bring him back because Vaughn did make a good point saying like he got overshadowed really hard during the Chris Paul argument. And Russ,
He be show.
Oop.
Yeah. What I was just saying, Dame be showing his athleticism every now and again too. People think he just shoot and pass the ball, bro. He can get up too, bro. Don't
He
forget.
got
oh
bodies.
yeah.
He got,
He
yeah.
got bodies.
Yeah.
And Russ, are you excited for Russ for this upcoming season? Or are you kind of skeptical?
I would say both. Like, I'm excited to see what he does, but I'm also like, I guess, skeptical of how he's gonna play, how we play him, especially with how many point guards we got on the team. I've been seeing reports saying that he's not gonna start. I've been seeing reports that he's gonna start at the point or 2 guard. So it's just kind of like a whole lot of mumbo jumbo right now. But I am looking forward to it just to see how the season plays out.
All right. Okay. Bleacher Report for point guards from 1 to 3. So I'll start off with 3 because that makes more sense. In the third, they have Trae Young. Number 2, they have Luka. And number 1, they have Steph.
Trae Young is top 3.
Trae Young is top 3.
Don't get me wrong. I love
They
Trae Young.
they
but
looking
three
at
is-
the future, bro. They're
has
looking
to
way
be,
too
bro.
deep in the future. Ain't no way.
That's crazy, bro.
Love Trae Young.
Oh
Great
God,
guy.
I love Trae Young for real.
But nah.
I think what makes this funnier is that they named this list most dominant at every position. So that makes it even more wild that they said Trae Young is the 3rd most dominant point guard.
The fact that Kyrie didn't even touch the top 3 is just insane to me.
Okay,
Personally.
but
Yeah.
let's be real. There's a bias there for real.
So I'm thinking like they left off Jaw too. So I'm thinking like the reason they left off Jaw compared to Trae Young is because when Trae Young's out, they literally don't know how to play basketball. But when Jaw's out, they went like 20-2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you think they're looking at like impact as a player?
Yeah, they're probably
Like impact?
they're probably looking at all of the stats that we don't look at.
Like the intangibles?
Or like
and all that?
maybe even intangibles too,
Yeah, that
But
makes
even
sense.
still, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Trae Young at 3s.
Wild.
That's
Do
wild.
they even show Chris Paul on that list?
No, they only do the top 3.
Oh, it's top 3.
So they don't even. It's when you look at the post and you go to the point guard slide, it's Steph, Luka, Trae. No mention of anyone else.
Bro, they lazy as hell.
All right. Going back to shooting guard, was there anyone that you thought we didn't mention in shooting guard that should have gotten his roses?
Eugene already said
I
James
got
Harden.
Paul
Right?
George.
Yeah, James Harden. Paul George. That's
Paul George was
interesting.
my number 2.
So y'all
He's
consider him a
not-
shooting guard.
I know. I
Yes.
low-key thought he was more of a 3, but
I consider him a small forward.
I thought he played the 3
Before-
mostly.
Before Clippers, he was a 3.
Yeah.
But Kawhi played 3, and then they got Nicholas Batum playing 4, and then Zubac playing center, and they got Robert Covington, who's also probably going to play the 4.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about Kawhi.
I can see that. I mean, yeah, they probably do have him marked at shooting guard anyway, but I would still see him as like a 3.
Yeah,
I think most of his career he has been a 3 though.
Yeah.
like with Indiana, OKC for sure he did.
Yeah.
I got one. Like, screw the team that he's on, but like, what about Bradley? Bradley Beal.
Oh, he
Bradley Beal is
It's tough because he's on the Wizards, but like
yeah.
himself, he be carrying.
Even though he definitely got robbed out of some All NBA in the past couple seasons. That I will say that for sure. He got robbed of some
Like
All
how
NBA.
we not
third.
make at least second all team? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
He
just
was
left him
third.
completely off.
Like, that's crazy.
30 points a game for the whole season, and he didn't even make All-Star. Like that's just
Yeah,
disrespectful.
like, come on.
I ain't gonna lie, he must be getting blackballed. He's getting or something. I don't know.
Something.
That's a crime.
Where would you
Yeah.
put Bradley Beal, Eugene? Top 5, top 3, top 10?
Not top shooting, bro. Shooting guard is the hardest position to
Yeah, I
figure out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't even have Bradley Beal on my 5, but that's because my 5 I got is Jaylen Brown. I got him at 5, and I was thinking in my head which would be more valuable to the team. But Jaylen Brown is not just like a two-way player; he's a very efficient two-way player. Like he kind of gets overshadowed by Jason Tatum, but like half of the games of the season, Jason Tatum's a better player. Half the other games, Jaylen Brown is. And I was thinking like defensive wise, Jaylen Brown holds his own better than Bradley Beal, so that's why I got him 5 over Beal.
Definitely, I would say top 10. I would definitely say top 10. He's probably better than probably even most players in the league, to be honest. But shooting guard is so hard. Like point guard is kind of hard, but shooting guard is by far the most difficult position to figure out, especially like doing an order, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would say for sure top 10 though. Maybe like top 7.
I would say top 7.
See, it's also kind of hard because he also plays small forward when Tatum's playing power forward. It just depends on the lineup per night.
That's true. Some other people we left off. We left off Clay.
Oh,
what about
McCollum.
CJ? Yeah. What about CJ?
McCollum, that was a really good one.
I think okay, so I was gonna mention him, but in regards to best at the position, I wouldn't say he's there. You know what I'm saying? Top shooting guard, sure. I'll give him top. But is he the best shooting guard? Like, when have you heard someone say, oh, CJ McCollum's the best shooting guard in the league? You don't really hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like because he's been with Dame for so long, he couldn't be the best shooting guard just because, like, you know, Dame was the main option and like should be. Like, I'm not saying that was a bad decision.
Right.
But I feel like if there's any time for him to get into best shooting guard conversation, it's gonna be this season, especially with that contract he has now. Like, I feel like this is his year to be like, you know, I am the best shooting guard.
What about LaVine?
LaVine.
What about Zach? What y'all think? He's not the best shooting guard at all, for sure.
Why don't
But,
you
like,
what do you think as LaVine as shooting guard since he's on your team?
Honestly, I feel like he's doing nothing but improving. But like, obviously, in the playoffs he didn't do too well because I feel like he was just trying to do too much during that series, and it's also his first time in the playoffs. So I feel like the player he is though, like every shortcoming that people usually say he has, he always works on it and gets better. So I feel like just as a shooting guard, I feel like he's getting better. Like, he's still kind of young, like he's not like a third-year player or nothing, but I feel like he gets better with time. I feel like this season might have to dictate that if this is the level he stays at or if he can go past that. Partially.
I agree with that.
Just a lot of these shooting guards,
there's just a lot.
It's such a loaded position, just like a casualty of like other players with more dynamic skill sets. Because, you know, Zach LaVine's more of a pure scorer. You can like look at guys like Paul George or Donovan Mitchell, and they're like, they have
two-way.
They're obviously scorers, but they got like different skill sets going on too.
Yeah.
What about DeRozan? Because he's shooting guard as well.
Is he? I thought he was small forward.
I think he interchanges. He
might play small forward.
That's why I didn't bring him
he might have played small forward for the Spurs too, but he definitely played in Toronto as shooting guard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna save him for small forward, but since we're bringing
Yeah.
him up now, I think he should be up there just because he was like MVP talks for a long time last season.
Literally the
And then
entire
COVID.
first half of the
Yeah, so
of the
like
season.
It seemed like every day he was hitting a game winner on somebody. Like,
he was, and like I feel like the Spurs detour was needed just because like that's what he wasn't like the main guy. Like Kyle and him were like on the same par, but like when he went to the Spurs, it was like basically just him. So I feel like after the Spurs to the Bulls, I feel like he just got so much better, and now that he's on like a bigger stage, we get to see him be so much better.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like if we're putting him shooting guard, I would say he's, in my opinion, top 5. Just because of last season, like MVP talks for that
I-
long, like
Yeah. I love DeRozan. I consider him a small forward, but even if I had him at shooting guard, small forward or shooting guard, I don't even have him in my top 5.
Damn.
I would say top 10. I would say top 10
Yeah.
too. I like DeRozan too, but top 5, I feel like I wouldn't even say he's one of the best. I would just say like he's a really good player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm.
My thoughts would have changed if, like last season the Bulls were off to a great start and injuries started happening. And if he somehow carried his way to like a top seed, like on his back, like, then I'd have to put him in the top 5. But it just didn't work out like that.
Yeah. All
What
right.
about your boy at the Nuggets, bro?
Murray?
Yeah.
He's good, but like I don't. If we're not saying DeMar DeRozan is, like I can't really argue Murray.
Bro,
I think
come
DeMar
on.
is better
You
than
gotta
Murray.
think
Bro.
about it. Really?
Bubble Murray. That wasn't like, think about that. That was like 2019, 2020. It's 2022. Like,
Bro, Donovan's still popping, bro. He's still popping.
I don't know.
I feel like you can make a case for Jamal. Even with coming off an injury.
No, I agree. You can make a case for him, but like after what we said about DeMar, I can't, like, me personally, I can't argue Jamal. Like if we're saying DeMar like that. Like that's just how I feel about it. Like I agree. I think he's like a really, really huge part of the Nuggets. He brings so much to like the team. He can almost do it all. Like he could be, but like I've been like during media day, people were like, I haven't seen him this good since the bubble, and that gets me excited personally because I'm like, okay, but like that's upcoming season. I can't say like I can't take the media day talks and put him in like the top, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I love Jamal Murray. He's my favorite on the Nuggets, but like personally, I would have to wait and see just because like we don't know.
Nah, yeah, I don't blame you. It's like me and Russ. I don't blame you.
All right, and then Bleacher Report's 3-1 shooting guards. They had Donovan Mitchell at 3, Paul George at 2, and Devin Booker at 1.
Paul George at 2 is kind of crazy, but I'm not gonna dog him for it.
I think out of all of them, that's the most sane one. That and the center are the most sane. The rest are just as wild as a point guard. So don't get your hopes up. All right, moving on. Small forward. Was there anyone you feel like we should have mentioned in small forward or talked more about in small forward?
I can't think of nobody at the 3 off the top. I ain't gonna lie.
Off rip, I'm gonna say Brandon Ingram.
Ooh, that's a
who'd
hard one.
I'll take.
Put him over. If he's in your top 5, like who are you putting him over?
Well, who are our other options?
I ain't gonna lie. This it's such an interchangeable position, bro.
Yeah, I got LeBron, Tatum, Durant, Kawhi, and then Jimmy Butler.
Bro, if I put him over Jimmy, it's like 1 point over. If I were to do that, I think Jimmy, he's a tryhard. You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy Butler's like, he's sweaty, bro.
Oh, down in points for
But BI, I feel like can average more points. What's his face? Jimmy Butler does more, but BI could carry off of points alone. I feel like that's just me though.
I feel like I'm not saying like you're wrong, but like last season was in the playoffs when I was watching him cook my Celtics. Like he was just willing his way to the basket. Like he didn't need to shoot like Brandon Ingram can. He was just like forcing himself, like getting foul shots, making tough layups, and just the floater games. It was like a horror show for me. But,
No,
like,
right. Because I was thinking about
Brandon,
bubble finals too, you know, going against the Lakers.
Mhm.
Like, bro was like gassed, you know what I'm saying? Like he was giving everything that he could give just to try and win, you know? So like if I was to put Brandon Ingram over Jimmy Butler, it would literally be like 1 point. But Brandon Ingram was just a thought, you know? That was someone we didn't name.
right.
Yeah, I feel like small forward is a lot more like condensed because like you got two of the best players in the world at small forward with LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So like it's hard. Like I said Kawhi, but I was like, no one's gonna agree with me, and I'm being biased. But like KD and LeBron being in the small forward makes it 10 times harder because you like, man, who am I gonna put above who in these 3, 4, 5? Like that's
Right.
that's really like a hard position.
Well, I'm shocked like we didn't really talk about Kevin Durant all that much.
Yeah,
Like,
we said LeBron James and kind of moved on. I was gonna ask you guys, how do you feel as like Kevin Durant? Do you think he's number 2, or do you think he's
no,
can be
he's 3. I got him under
he's
Tatum
3?
and LeBron. I feel like
Oh, that's
Whoa.
bias. That's bias. That's bias. That's
There's
bias.
mad bias.
That,
What?
that don't count. That don't count.
I'm just saying like he sunned Kevin Durant. He 4-0'd him. So like I'm taking that into consideration. Who made the finals?
You can't
Not
argue
Kevin
that. You
Durant.
can't argue that.
Oh, I seen a tweet that was so disrespectful, but it got me thinking. It's like Kevin Durant, if he didn't go to the Warriors, is just Carmelo.
Oh,
Damn.
Ah,
That's
hard. That's hard. I feel like that's hard. Because in all honesty, obviously, we'll never know.
yeah, we won't.
Yeah,
Man, that's so hard. That's so hard.
because I'm
Because
thinking
I feel like Melo's timing was just off completely. You know,
Vince was
going to
also
the
bag
Knicks,
chasing.
yeah, like that was
Yeah.
just terrible timing.
Yeah.
But
if you
that's
swapped
so hard.
Melo,
That's so
if you
hard.
swapped Melo and KD, like who would have more success? Because I don't think KD on the Knicks is doing anything. I mean,
KD on
Carmelo's
that.
going
No,
far.
bro, no superstar on that Knicks team is doing.
Yeah, that team was
Let's
actually
be
trash,
honest.
bro. That team was so garbage, dude.
They had Ron Baker, bro. Like, come on.
They had IT as a coach, bro.
Would
else did they have?
Carmelo? Would he look better on the Thunder with Harden and Russ though?
Would Melo
Like
look
at their
better?
primes.
Wait, say that again.
Like during KD's Thunder years, would Melo taking his place, would he look better alongside Westbrook and Harden?
I don't know about that. I don't
I don't
know.
agree with that
I
only
don't know.
because I feel like KD and Russ clicked so well. Like they
Until
were
they
Really,
did.
they
well until they didn't, but like still, like when they did click, they were almost unstoppable.
yeah.
I
They
think-
went to the finals, bro. Like
At like what, 22 years old? Like really
Yeah, like,
young.
let's
like,
not
really
forget
young.
that.
Something crazy.
let's
If
not
they
forget
if they
that.
weren't inexperienced, they probably could have beat Miami if they weren't so young.
Yeah, let's
Shit.
But you got to think about it, right? So Melo was on the Knicks during that whole time period, right?
Mhm.
And he was already basically considered a vet. So, you know, you just swap KD and Melo in those situations. You would have had Melo the vet on the Thunder, right? You know, thinking optimistically, he would have taken all of those young players under his wing and they would have adapted to the way that Melo played. You know what I'm saying? So Russ would have still been, he probably would have been more of a facilitator than he is now if that were to happen. Harden probably be the same because he was like 6-man. And then, you had a Serge and Kendrick Perkins. I don't think it would have been better per se, but I think they might have won that chip.
See, that's what
Oh.
Melo's never really had good defensive teams around him, and I think that's what he needed most in his prime was defense. And
He just needed a team around him.
Honestly.
But you're right, though. Like, he didn't have players to back him up,
Mhm.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying.
It was just an interesting thought I came across, and I thought I'd bring it up.
All right. Moving on. Bleacher Report, small forwards. They have Jimmy at 3, Kawhi at 2, Jason at 1.
Oh my God, that top 3. They're doing this for jokes now.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. KD, the only reason, like KD being off the list, wild, whatever. But KD, if KD's like not even a basketball player, honestly, I'm not arguing with it.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say this. KD and LeBron are listed as power forwards in this list.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even think about LeBron. I'm tweaking.
So before we think about how KD and LeBron aren't even mentioned, they are listed as power forwards. It's just the order is kind of wild.
Can you say it again?
Okay.
Small forwards,
Mhm.
Jimmy at 3, Kawhi at 2, Jason at 1.
Man. Kawhi ain't
those
played
are
in
all
like
guys.
100 years, man. God damn. And you gonna put him over Jim? Come on, bro.
All right. Power forward. I feel like we don't need to touch on power forward. I think Giannis has it on lock. Like,
yeah.
but the list for Bleacher Report is LeBron at 3, KD at 2, Giannis at 1
For power
Okay,
forwards, I can
for
see
power
it,
forward.
honestly.
The only reason I feel like the only reason they gave Giannis 1 is because he's actually a power forward.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put LeBron at the 4 low key. I'm gonna be real.
I'm not putting him at the 4. I'm not putting KD at the 4 either.
Yeah. He ain't no 4.
I don't know that.
What
I
was
feel
their
like-
end game here? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, all that
it's
does
just
is, like,
weird.
boot off power forwards,
Oh,
like
there actually is a power forward, not better than Giannis, but someone we haven't talked about, Draymond Green.
whoa, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even think about it. Yo,
I feel like Draymond Green is, if you were making a power forward list, 1, 2, 3, and let's say LeBron and Kevin were on the small forward, I think Draymond would be 3 only because it's such a small selection in power forwards.
Okay, who's
Well,
2?
AD,
I would,
if healthy.
yeah, I'd put.
AD.
Okay.
I know Eugene wouldn't want to hear this, but I got Zion at 3.
Oh God.
I forgot about Zion. I'm not gonna lie.
But here's some other. I got other top 5. I didn't even think about Draymond because he's so specific to the Warriors.
Right.
But I do have other names. I got Siakam at 4, and then Karl-Anthony Towns at 5. Considering he's
Cat
moving
at
to
power
the
forward.
4. Yeah, because Rudy's going to the 5. There's no way Rudy's playing the 4.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie, I didn't think
I
about
mean-
that. I would have been like, not at 4.
Yeah,
I was thinking center, like Cat at center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, tradition. I mean, you would imagine him as a 5, but
this is the Paul
If-
George
if-
shooting guard thing all over again.
Honestly.
Yeah, I agree with Vaughn. Draymond is so who knows how Draymond's career would look like if he wasn't on the Warriors?
he probably wouldn't even be an all-star. I don't know. Who knows? We
Oh,
don't know.
that's
That's a hot
that's
take.
a hot take.
I ain't gonna lie.
I don't care. No,
He said, I said it, it's out there.
I'm standing on it.
That's it.
But it worked in his favor, man. What, 4-time All-Star, something like that? 4-time
Yeah, something
champ.
like that.
Defensive player of the year,
he
who am I?
does bring a lot to the Warriors.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
That's why like
Yep.
I had to give him 3 because like you can say what if he wasn't on the Warriors and 0, like all that shit, but like Mans is like
Bro, I low
So-
key, I got some breaking news, bro. Tyler Hero just signed 4 years, 130 mil extension, bro.
Hold on. what?
yo.
It's on like, yeah.
Bro,
That's
130 mil for 6 man of the year.
that is a bag.
That's
Will I don't
it's
think he'll
insane.
end up like a Duncan Robinson because they didn't even play him in the playoffs. I think Hero will be a star, but like that's a bag.
that's
That's
a bag and a
huge bag.
half.
Get your money, Tyler. Shit. Get your money, bro.
Jesus. Real time breaking news right there.
Yes, sir.
All right. We already talked about center. So I'll just go do the center like listings. They they have Rudy at 3, Joel at 2.
nah. It's raps. It's raps.
and Jokic at 1.
I got Bam over Rudy. I got DeAndre Ayton over Rudy. I got Jarrett Allen over Rudy.
Facts.
No.
You could put if you want to. If you want to be petty, you could say Steven Adams if you want. Like, who you know?
Nah,
get-
nah.
I'm
got
joking.
Dennis Schroeder over Rudy Gobert, bro.
Bro, if you can get pushed around by point guards in the paint, bro, I don't know if you need to be top 3.
Yeah, that's wild. I knew the center one would be the most controversial just because of the Rudy Gobert ranking.
The
Bro.
only reason, I guarantee you, the only reason that they put Rudy Gobert at 3 is because he's 2-time depoy. Didn't he go back to back or not?
He did.
Yeah, I want to
think
say.
he did.
I want to say, yeah.
Well, either way, 2-time back-to-back or 2-time depoy. That's the only reason they put him at 3.
Yeah, that's a wild ass ranking.
Y'all know like the nicknames that people on Twitter give players when they do bad or something. Like what was Paul George's pandemic P? LeBron's like Lemicky or something. Rudy
Mhm.
Gobert had this funny one. What was it? It was Baguette Biombo. That's what they called him.
Biombo. That's crazy.
I think it was like last season when they got bounced out. I forgot what game, but he was playing like absolutely terrible, and they were like, "Look at Baguette Biombo over here," or something like that. I was like, "I don't know how you came up with that." But, sheesh.
Are there any other centers though?
I just looked. Gobert has 3 Defensive Player of the Years.
He's got 3.
Oh, damn. When
Does
did he
he
win?
deserve
Does it
3?
say?
I thought he only. Yeah. See the years.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Can't find it. 2018, 2019, and then 20 cut off. But yeah, apparently he's got 3.
So he did go back to
2021.
back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he went back to back and then skipped a year. I think that was Giannis's year, and then he went back for a 3rd.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's actually insane.
Was
I
that
guess.
the year
Oh, because okay, I remember because I think this year I was hoping it was supposed to be AD,
Mm-hmm.
and then those first 2 years he was like averaging like 3 or 4 blocks a game. It was something absurd. That first one, it was well deserved. I don't remember that second one though.
I feel like the first one's deserved, and like it kind of like tanks in value. Like it kind of just felt like obligatory. Like, who are we gonna pick for Defensive Player of the Year? It's like, I guess this guy's got a lot of blocks. Like, I don't think they weren't even considering like on-ball defenders, like guys who's like lowering the points per game when they face opponents. Like it felt like they weren't even looking at that sort of stuff.
I don't know what year it was. I don't know if it was the second one, but I remember there was an argument between him and Ben Simmons of who should have won it. I don't remember what season though.
That could have been the second.
I think it was was that 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was that year because I remember Ben Simmons was making a case too.
Because he was that season, he was doing like 2 steals a game and like three blocks, 2 blocks, something like that, or
It was
maybe like
something insane.
under 2, yeah, something like that. I think I remember that.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know he had 3. 3 is wild.
3 is wild.
His first one he
All
definitely
right.
deserved, but
The rest, maybe not.
you could argue. that last one, I don't know.
Honestly, it might turn into a LeBron thing. You know what I'm saying? Like him for Depoy. You know what I'm saying?
Like he's in the automatic talk already.
Automatic
like-
talk, but it might get to a point to where I guess he does so good. They don't even like think about him anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, now recap from top to bottom, starting with point guard. We have Steph, shooting guard Luka, small forward LeBron James, power forward Giannis, and center Jokic. If this team was formed, how many games they winning?
60.
82.
82.
82. The fuck?
They're at least sweeping the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
He said
Like-
6.
Chip right
in-
there. What?
In reality, at least 60, maybe 65, potentially 70.
Oh,
I mean, the Warriors
I'm
did.
gonna be
Yeah,
ludicrous
the
about
Warriors
70.
did. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
Every one of those guys can pass. Like
Yeah.
there's no weakness in that game. Like that would be such a threat. Like you can't even like take your foot off the gas pedal if you face them. Just like the passing alone is scary.
Who do you think would be the worst defender out of the 5?
We putting Pop at coach too.
Oh, God.
Pop
They run
at
his
coach,
Spurs
Steve
offense.
Kerr assistant.
Yep.
Who do you think would be the like defensive liability out of the 5? You think it's Steph or like Luka? Who you think?
I'll say Luka.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because, like,
Yeah, I
we're
was
not-
gonna say
the
Luka.
only reason I boiled it down for those 2 is like LeBron to Jokic. Like, no, none of them. Like, come on, I'm not gonna consider
Yeah,
them for defensive
LeBron, Giannis, and
liability.
Jokic, like you're not getting it.
I'm not.
You step foot past that 3-point line, and you're getting clamped up.
You said Luka Vaughn.
Yeah, I say Luka. He just gets beat a lot. Steph actually, like when you watch him play defense, he stays in front of his man quite often. It's just like he gets beat around the screens because he's 6'3" and doesn't weigh that much, you know. So he
Yeah,
just kind of gets like swallowed behind a pick. But Luka just like he can get beat.
All right, and who's first option? Make this hard on you guys.
First option.
LeBron
Okay.
James.
Wait. Let's make this easier. Who's not first option? I feel like Jokic, would not
Probably
yeah,
be
not.
first
not
option.
Jokic
Jokic.
is not.
And oh man, I was gonna say Giannis too, but he can get to anyone on the court that he wants. Same with LeBron.
Like, yeah, Jokic is the only one who's for sure not first option, and that's only because of everyone else.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
Low key though, I'm probably gonna say Giannis isn't first option either though.
I feel that.
I
I can see that.
yeah,
is it
For
bad?
me personally, I'd probably say Steph.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say
say.
Steph. I thought you were gonna shit on that take. Like Steph number 1.
I was gonna say either LeBron or Steph.
Let him
'Cause,
take
like,
like
okay.
an extra foot behind the 3-point line, and him and Luka like just draining threes from deep, and that opens up the whole court for Giannis and LeBron.
Literally. Like they would probably run like some crazy offensive set like that we've never seen, you know?
Something more iconic than the triangle or something. Who knows, bro? This
Something,
team's
bruh.
already crazy.
Because it's like you got to think about it. So I feel like they would run an offense similar to what the Warriors run, you know, just set screens and, you know, they run around or whatever. But along with their passing or, you know, basketball IQ, they would like, I don't know, they do some like trickery or something. You know what I'm saying?
You know the like the
Facts.
elevator doors pick. Imagine like trying to
Yeah.
get through Giannis and LeBron and a pick like that. Like that's not happening. Just a wall.
You got Curry running around, and then next thing you know, you just run into LeBron and Giannis.
Just 2 tree trunks, bro. Like,
Oh God. And you got Jokic.
You got Jokic. You can, yeah.
post work. Like, come on, bro. Like- oh yeah, that team would be something serious, bro.
might do that on 2K later.
Oh God, just to see simulate that.
I'll let y'all know how that go, bro.
Send a picture of the record too while you at, bro.
I got you.
Need that.
All right, and that's officially Spin the Rocks 2022-23 Best 5. Just a reminder, Steph, Luka, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic. All right, and that's probably what we're going to call it. Next week's episode is an episode that us personally have been hyping up since like we even first met for this podcast.
Yes, sir.
We haven't even recorded and we've been hyping up this topic, and that is exciting teams. The second part you'll find out when you watch the episode, but for sure, exciting teams. Make sure if you're listening on any podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Give us that good old 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter, TikTok at Spin the Rock. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Baby, hop in the rocket, yeah, we gon' blast off. I just bought my own, I can't tell you why they mad, dog. I've been eating good like I'm off a line of